I have a question for you. Is your life like a reality TV show? Do your relationships remind you of being on Jerry Springer? Does your work give you the fear that, like The Apprentice, you might soon hear, "You're fired"? Or maybe you're feeling the overwhelm that surely the contestants of America's Got Talent and American Idol must feel from week to week. I'm Norma T. Hollis, and I have been studying reality, both on and off TV, for a lot of years. And what I have learned is that so many of us deal with reality with great challenge. We face it with anxiety and nervousness, worrying about what's going to happen next. If I do this, what it's going to bring, what are they going to think, what are they going to do? Filled and wrought with anxiety and nervousness about making decisions. A lack of clarity. If we had more clarity, decisions would come easier. But sometimes, because of what's going on, we're confused. And it's hard to make decisions. It's hard to have the clarity. Often we look at what are our choices, and we have challenged making choices. We're living in chaos. All around us, things are just not stable. And it's hard to find a way to make it stable. We need more self-esteem. We're suffering from people talking about us and talking through us and around us and not to us and not knowing us. And all of this leaves so many of us full of stress and not quite knowing what to do. Well, what we do is we then put on a mask as we have to become the person that others expect us to be. We have to be the person that does not make the boss say, "You're fired." Even though we might prefer one thing, we have to do what the company says, right? We have to sometimes do different things for our family that may cause us a little bit of stress. And we put on a mask so we can be the person we need to be. It ends up being a cycle of going in the same thing, dealing with reality in strange ways, just trying to survive. But there is a way to be the survivor. And it has to do with really coming into yourself. I had to learn this the hard way. You see, I am a very creative person, but I was born in a family that was extremely traditional. They didn't, and most of the time still don't, understand me, and it made life very difficult for me, to the point that I had to figure out who I am. I had to get past my own chaos and my own anxiety and nervousness and the own insecurities that I felt because I didn't have the self-esteem that comes when you have a family that really supports you. And as a result, I was quite stressed. But I had to go deep within, and that's the 30 years that I spent researching reality. Well, actually, I was researching human nature, and I looked at human nature from personal, professional, and spiritual perspectives. And what I've learned is that there is something that is so valuable and so priceless that when you have it, there is no anxiety, there is reduced chaos, there is lots of calm, and there's certainly a great deal of inner peace. And that's called self-knowledge. Now, this is one concept that has survived throughout generations. I can take you back to 350 BC, when the philosopher Aristotle said that self-knowledge is the beginning of all wisdom. If we fast forward to the 1700s, you had a capitalist, Adam Smith, saying the same thing, that when you know yourself, you can look at yourself and make modifications as necessary. And if we go even to our time, we have the very well-known Steve Jobs, who said that the greatest knowledge is knowledge of yourself. Don't be betrayed by other people's opinion of you. Listen to your inner voice and allow that to guide you. Because actually, society seems to feed us fear over and over again. And for some reason, we pick it up easily. It's on our TV shows, it's on our entertainment programs, it's in the cartoons, it's certainly on the news every day. And we listen to that and we follow it. And what happens is that begins to erode our self-esteem and erode our self-confidence and also erode our knowledge of self. Well, I want to bring you back to self-knowledge because that is the greatest knowledge and it is the answer to removing the stress, to gaining a life of survivorship in peace, in inner peace. There's 3 parts to this self-knowledge, and one is called the inner voice. And that's the voice that no one hears but yourself. You know, it talks to you all the time. One is the outer voice. That's how other people perceive you. And the third is the expressive voice, which is who you have become. Now these 3 components, your inner voice, your outer voice, and expressive voice, is what I call authenticity. And that's what I'm all about. And self-knowledge equals authenticity. And I would like to help you step right into your self-knowledge, this priceless knowledge that overcomes all knowledge. That's knowledge that's come through all the ages. We don't focus on it a lot in society now. We focus more on memorizing things in school and following the boss's orders, but little focus on finding out who you are and what's your gifts and talents and what do you bring to the world and how will the world use them. I want to help you with that. I invite you to join me in a webinar this Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. In this webinar, I'm going to help you look at reality, reality TV, and reality in your life in a little different way. I'm going to give you a deeper understanding of what it means to live a life of authenticity, what it can mean for you, and how it can change your life, and how it can give you a level of inner peace that you may have never even considered was possible for you. It really is not a lot of work. It just means a little bit of time to go into you. And it begins with just taking about an hour of your time on Thursday, 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and checking out the webinar. Let me explain to you about the masks that we all wear and how they can be removed. We can take them off one at a time, because usually we have several of them we're wearing anyway. And I'm going to help you see how you can survive all of this and go through your path in life with a level of inner peace that gives you such joy, such priceless information, such guidance that will lead you to, who knows, beautiful life, grounded life, authentic life, a life being the person you were born to be. So take a look at normahollis.com/events. That's NORMAHOLLIS.com/events, EVENTS. You'll learn more about the webinar taking place on Thursday, and I hope to see you there. And by the way, I'm going to come back in the next 2 days and give you a little bit more. And then on Thursday, I'll give you the whole banana. I'll see you then.